My name is Uncle Geeb. I appreciate you guys for coming in here. Lots of accessories here on my desk to talk about, and we're gonna talk about controllers. Okay, so we're gonna start out with the weird controllers first. So the under $30 controllers. The first one is actually probably overall, if you want to get it overall, this right here, this guy right here, there's no name with this one. It is a weird third party you can buy on Amazon, maybe even still could buy it. I bought it a long time ago. This controller here, the way the fit and feel, it's very small, but very ergonomic, weirdly, because it's very bulbous and round, and just chunky enough that I can get my relatively large hands, and I have some relatively large hands, contrary to some of you podcast listeners. It's what you say about me. I read the comments. I saw that. It hurt me. But anyway, my big hands on this controller. This is actually, feel-wise, the second best controller in my collection. And that's not a joke. This is $20, $19.99. This controller for Amazon, if I find a link for it, I will link it. This controller is my second favorite controller of all my controllers. I just love the way it feels. These sticks feel fantastic, and I mean that. There's some real resistance. Like, it's kind of like nice force feedback on a wheel, for a Switch wheel, if you know what I'm talking about, like racing wheel. The D-pad is very passable. It is a very passable D-pad. It is not so much far off. It feels very similar to a Pro Controller D-pad. It's just a little bit more mushy. The buttons all feel great. Very nice buttons over here. They're very, very fine. The face buttons are a little loose, not great, but overall, this controller is fantastic. I don't want to spend any more time on it, but if you can get your hands on one of these for 20 bucks, it is a very solid controller. Actually, this was my first Nintendo Switch controller I bought because I was on a budget, but boy, this is a nice controller. I can really recommend it for sure. This is a nice controller. Last controller on the under $30 list here. It's a very weird one. You can barely see it on camera. I don't buy it, okay? It's got really cool buttons. It has lots of travel on it. They call it mechanical. I have a mechanical keyboard in front of me. That's mechanical. This thing feels awful. This controller is not a good controller. Sorry, my brother who bought this for me for purposes of playing with. I don't play with it. It's really bad. The sticks feel kind of nice though. Not as much resistance, but the rubber tips on it are really, really nice. Overall, this is kind of cool for Hyrule Warriors. If you play Hyrule Warriors and you button mash a lot, and in fact, any game that you button mash with, this is going to be a really nice controller to button mash with. There's a literal issue. I'm not sure if it's just mine or everybody's, but you see that? I can push the button farther in. Like, you see my finger is recessed inside of the controller. My finger is going straight into the thing. It's very uncomfortable. It hits the side of the plastic. Not well designed at all. I modded it and put some foam inside to act as a spring, number one, more spring, but number two, so I couldn't bottom it out as easy. The issue is bottoming out. It bottoms out way too far down. Very uncomfortable. But it's a bad controller. It's not fun. It's a bad controller. Don't buy it. Unless you play Hyrule Warriors or any other button mashing game. Extremely nice to button mash with. Extremely nice. Get out of here. Be gone. Next controller. Okay, we're raising up in price. We're raising up in price. Now we're talking about controllers $40 and up, and I only have one in that category. Here's a $40 controller right here, the 8-bit DOE. Now I have the original SN30 Pro Plus. That's a mouthful, but this controller, this is a absolutely solid controller. You're buying this one not only for the stick orientation, because there's not too many Nintendo Switch controllers that have this orientation that are good. This one is great. If you enjoy PlayStation and Switch, this is a controller to get right here. The D-pad is the D-pad is absolutely fantastic. The best D-pad on Nintendo Switch controllers, period. If you want a great D-pad experience, you play lots of 2D games, this is the controller for you. This is the best looking controller. There is no better looking controller than this. It has that original SNES feel with the color combination and the looks overall. This is a fantastic controller. Ergonomics are great, and I prefer the Xbox layout, but I will still use this one from time to time. And side note, it's relatively repairable. So I actually had an issue during a live stream. I think that clip is long gone, actually. And the vibration motor just fell out, but still vibrates. I'm like, I don't think it's broken. I think I just need to stop playing and fix it. And that's exactly what I did. I forgot to mention real fast. The right and left, they're analog, fantastic. The software this comes with, fantastic. Really fantastic controller. I think nowadays you can get it for like $45 or even $40. That is a steal for this controller. Get it while you still can. Moving on to my most comfortable controller that I own, period. And that is gonna be the PowerA, whatever it's called. The name will be down in the description. You guys know what this one is. This is the same PowerA wireless controller that they have for pretty much every that's PowerA sells. If you see like a PowerA controller that has a graphic on it, it's this one. Unless it could be the wired version, it could be the wireless. This is the wireless, and the wired has two versions: the USB original, whatever that thing's called, and then the USB-C. This is the USB-C version. So other than that, they're pretty much the same controller. They got two back programmable buttons. The first controller on this list with back programmable buttons. But yeah, ergonomically, this is my favorite controller. It is big, like this earlier one we talked about. It's big and meaty. It's really big and meaty, but even bigger and meatier than that other one. That one's intentionally small. This one's intentionally larger. And boy, it's great. The D-pad, I don't love the D-pad. It's fine. I don't love it. Sticks are okay. They're for the price of it, I would like it to be a little bit better. It's about $50 retail, especially this Pokemon edition one, but it's very nice. I bought this controller to try out, and it turned out the ergonomics on it were so good. I use it more than my Pro controller, which is up next on the list. The Switch Pro controller, oh my god, I love the Switch Pro controller. The HD Rumble is so good. The Pro controller is the standard for Nintendo Switch controllers. It's actually a little bit smaller than like what you would find with PowerA. It's actually a little bit smaller, so that's actually more if you have kids and they're going to use the controllers as well. This is probably the one to get because it's a little bit smaller. It's also just a more fun experience to play with. I mean, I really do love the Pro controller. It's the HD Rumble makes it, man. The buttons are the best buttons in the bunch. Okay, the second best. Then we'll get to that in a minute because the last controller is a doozy. But yeah, the second best buttons in the bunch. I love the buttons. D-pad's fine. The triggers and all the triggers and bumpers, they feel passable and great. Very nice. Nothing wrong with this at all. This is an absolutely solid option for controllers. If you're obvious, and it should be. It's Nintendo's own controller, and one of the best controllers, if not the best controller, Nintendo has ever released. So pick this up just because to have it, man. It's a really nice controller. And last but not least, we have the big boy, big doozy. Comes with a carrying case. I forgot to show you guys at the moment, but this is the PowerA Fusion Pro. This is the big bad boy with swappable faceplates. It comes with an extra white faceplate. You can customize it yourself. But yeah, this controller is it's very black, as you can see. It's a doozy, man. The D-pad, very nice. Maybe the Pro controller has a slight edge in D-padness. What are we coming to in this world? But D-pad's great, very good. The sticks are the least best part about the controller. I actually am really let down by the sticks. The sticks are different. Now you would think the PowerA, there should be different. They shouldn't be different. They should be the same, or at least this one should be better because it's twice as expensive. But the reason these are different, because it pops off right there. As you can see, you can swap these guys for different heights. So you can see there's the shorter one, and here's the longer one. So there you can see there the differences between the two. It's whatever your preference are. They come with multiple different sizes. But what's bad about them is not because they're swappable. What's bad about them is really this swappable faceplate. Not sure how well you could hear that right there, but they're very loose feeling. If you hit the sides of the swappable faceplate, it's very loose. I don't like the way it feels. It's not firm. It's not precise and solid. Also, they have these reportedly, I don't know what you call these. They call this a steel rim around the stick, so it glides around. I have actually found the opposite of it. I don't think it glides well at all. I think it glides very poorly. I do not like it. I think dust gets stuck in there too, and I gotta clean it out, but dust gets immediately back in there. Not my favorite implementation for sticks. Everything else though, the feel, the body, the firmness, the bulkiness, the rubber back with diamond pattern. Oh my God, the diamond pattern. You can see it there. Fantastic. It's really nice. That looks like plastic, but I promise that's rubber, soft rubber. Same ergonomics as this other PowerA controller, as you can see there. Same ergonomics, so all the ergonomic goodness of the cheaper controller, but with the beefier, heavier, no rumble, unfortunately, controller that I love to use this. This is my first pickup when I go to play with the Switch. It comes with a carrying case. You can bring this around with you. It's going to keep your controller safe, and it's a really nice carrying case that you can fit all the extra accessories it comes with inside when you're not using it. And that'll do it for part one of this 3-part series where we're going to be talking about Nintendo Switch accessories. Thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like and subscribe, and also stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Like and subscribe and stay right here because in just a few seconds, you're going to see the next video pop up. We're going to be talking about Switch grips. So thank you guys for checking out this video. Switch grips are up next. And thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.